The story begins with a couple named Mason and Amelia who were traveling in their private jet to attend a lavish party. Very soon, they reached the venue and started enjoying the party. After a while, they met a man named Perez, who was the richest person among them and was also hosting the party. During the conversation, Mason mentioned that he had a car collection and was very passionate about cars. Hearing this, Perez became happy because he too was fond of collecting cars. After this, he took Mason and Amelia to his private garage to show them his car collection. There, Perez showed them his favorite car, which was worth nearly $200 million. Seeing this car, Mason and Amelia wanted to sit inside and experience it. Perez agreed to their request and gave them permission to sit in it. As soon as they sat inside, Amelia gave a signal to a hacker named Link, and as soon as Link received the signal, she turned off all the lights in the garage. In the meantime, Mason's men attacked Perez and knocked him to the ground. Taking advantage of this moment, Mason started the car and fled with it. Here it was revealed that Mason and Amelia were actually professional thieves, and their only purpose for attending the party was to steal that car. Afterward, they loaded the car into a massive truck and began to escape the country. But before they could succeed, an FBI team started chasing them. Seeing this, Mason began to wonder how the FBI learned about their plan. But as soon as Amelia pointed her gun at Mason, all of his confusion was immediately cleared. A big twist emerged here. It was revealed that Amelia wasn't a thief at all, but rather an FBI agent. She had only pretended to love Mason so that she could catch him red-handed. Mason's heart broke because he had genuinely fallen for Amelia. But in spite of this, he gave his team the order for Plan B.
Plan B's on.
Under Plan B, they drove all their cars into the river. Though they couldn't steal the prize car, they narrowly avoided getting caught by the FBI. The story then cuts to 3 months later, where Mason has quit stealing and is living a simple life outside the city. One day, Mason's younger brother Sean comes to him and tells him about a plan to rob a bank. He also wants Mason to join. However, Mason refuses, saying he has retired and doesn't want to get into trouble anymore. Sean tries to convince him, but Mason doesn't agree. So, Sean leaves. Before leaving, however, he gives Mason a phone, telling him that if he changes his mind, he can call. 3 days pass, but Mason's decision does not change. On the day of the heist, Link calls Mason and asks why he is so late for the robbery. Hearing this surprises Mason because he had already refused Sean. It turns out Sean had lied to his team, claiming Mason had agreed. At first, Mason becomes furious, but reluctantly, in order to manage the situation, he joins Sean's plan. On the other hand, Sean waits at a nearby coffee shop outside the bank, knowing that the manager comes daily for coffee. When the manager arrives, Sean holds him at gunpoint, takes him as a hostage, and tries to lead him inside the bank. At that moment, Mason intervenes and stops them, telling Sean that this plan is not good and will get them all killed. But Sean argues that it is too late to back off because their team has already entered the bank. Now, inside the bank, Mason sees their team disguised among common people. Sean takes the bank manager aside and orders him to open the vault door. Instead, the manager triggers the security alarm. With the alarm blaring, chaos erupts, and the bank's security guards open fire. Mason's team, however, manages to kill the guards and take all the customers hostage. Mason confronts Sean, asking him what the real target is. Sean reveals he is after a locker belonging to a woman named Isabel Farrow. Inside it, there is a hard drive containing crypto worth millions of dollars. After hearing this, Mason forces the manager to open the vault, but the system requires 2 keys, one with the manager and the other with Isabel, the locker's owner. Both must be used simultaneously. Here's the twist. Sean had no idea about the second key. He had led the whole gang inside without the complete information. Mason gets enraged and tells Link to hack the locker security to bypass it. Link works her magic, and within minutes the locker's open. But when they look inside, there is no hard drive. The manager bursts out laughing, telling them it's only a decoy box, and even he doesn't know where the real one is. Mason, furious at Sean's poor planning, lashes out at him. Meanwhile, outside, the FBI has surrounded the bank, led by none other than Amelia, Mason's ex-girlfriend. Amelia tries to contact the team. Link initially attempts to stall her with distracting talk, but Amelia is experienced and demands to speak to Mason. Mason, telling Sean to watch the manager, enters Link's room to talk to her. When Mason heard Amelia's voice, old memories return, but he reminded himself that now she was his enemy here to catch his team. Mason then began negotiating, demanding that Amelia pull her team back 50 feet from the bank, or he'd start killing hostages one by one. He also asked for pizza and beer for the whole team, and that Amelia herself deliver it. Amelia agreed, but in exchange, demanded the release of of 2 hostages. Mason accepted without arguing. The team shifted all hostages to the upper hall and waited for Amelia. Soon, Amelia entered the bank with food and came face to face with Mason. Mason was delighted to see her and flirted, but Amelia ignored it, urging him to surrender. Mason refused, so she left the bank. Mason then fed his team and honored his promise by releasing. But suddenly something unexpected happened. The bank manager attacked Sean, snatched his gun, and tried to escape. Mason chased him down, and after an intense pursuit, he captured the manager again. Mason interrogated him about Isabel. The manager revealed a shocking truth. Isabel Farrow was none other than the wife of the nation's most dangerous gangster, Abel. Abel had the backing of all the country's most powerful politicians, and the hard drive contained incriminating evidence of their corruption. If the evidence leaked, the government would collapse. Even after learning all this, Mason decided to steal the hard drive so he could blackmail the government and escape the bank safely. Meanwhile, outside, a car pulled up. Inside was Abel's lawyer, Alex, who ordered Amelia to ensure her team caught the robbers within an hour. If not, the U.S. Army would storm the bank. Confused, Amelia asked her supervisor about Alex, who explained that he was Abel's lawyer. He confirmed Abel's connections with powerful politicians and warned that nothing could be done against him. He told Amelia to resolve the situation quickly because if the army entered, innocent hostages would die alongside the robbers. Inside, Mason's team began breaking through walls, hoping to discover a hidden vault that might contain Isabel's locker. But every time they broke one wall, another awaited behind it. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army surrounded the bank, preparing to breach. Amelia contacted Mason again, asking him to surrender because if the army got inside, his death was certain. Mason countered, telling her to leak the news to the media that the army was planning an assault. If the media arrived, the army wouldn't take action openly. Amelia did as asked, and soon the outside area was swarming with media, the story spreading like wildfire. The FBI chief was enraged by Amelia's actions and removed her from the case. He personally called Mason, threatening that if he didn't surrender in 15 minutes, the army would enter. Inside, Mason's team finally found the secret room with Isabel's locker. Mason ordered Link to hack into it. She warned that the security was very strong and would take at least 10 minutes, but the army would be inside in 8 minutes. Mason then hatched a plan. He began releasing hostages one by one, buying Link more time to crack the code. Soon, all the hostages were released. Finally, even the manager was freed. One by one, Mason's team members surrendered too. Everyone got out except Mason and Link, who stayed inside. This enraged the FBI chief. He ordered the army to storm in and shoot Mason on sight. The army entered like hounds, and soon found Mason waiting with a bomb in hand. Before they could react, there was an explosion, killing Mason and the soldiers alike. And thus, because of Sean's poor planning, Mason had to sacrifice his life. But hold on. If you also think the story ended here, wait, because a huge twist is still left. Months after the incident, Amelia resigned from the FBI, unable to work with such corrupt people any longer. After resigning, she went on vacation to a private island where Mason was already waiting for her. It was then revealed that Mason and Amelia had been on the same team from
the very beginning. They had deliberately failed the car heist at Perez's party so that the FBI would fully trust Amelia. The story then flashes back to just before the explosion in the bank. When the army entered, Mason demanded to meet Abel's lawyer, Alex. Reluctantly, they agreed since Mason still held the leverage. Soon, Alex arrived where Mason threatened him, saying, "Deposit $500 million in my account and give me and my team new identities, or I'll expose all the evidence to the public." Since Abel's power was in Mason's hands, Alex agreed to all terms. A fake explosion was staged inside the bank to make everyone believe Mason had died. Meanwhile, Mason and Amelia started a new life under new identities, leaving theft and crime behind forever. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you liked this video, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a sweet comment below. See you in the next.